Telegram is one of the most popular messaging apps in the world, and if you're in crypto, chances are that you currently use it. But did you know that they have a token? Yep, it's called Toncoin, and it's been on a crazy roller coaster ride since its launch in 2019. It had the second largest ICO in history, raising an insane $1.7 billion before the SEC came and shut it down. Now, the project could have just died then and there, but it survived thanks to a small and dedicated community. And now, after years of hard work, Toncoin has risen from the ashes and has clawed its way into the top 10 of all cryptocurrencies, managing to beat out even Cardano. So now, the question on my mind is Ton worth the hype? Well, to find out the answer to that, we have to analyze 4 key aspects of the project, starting with its strengths. Now, its first strength that I really like is its tokenomics. Out of around 5 billion total tokens, around 70% are currently circulating, which is a healthy amount in my eyes. Also, back in 2023, there was a successful vote to freeze the wallets of inactive miners. That passed with over 91% of the votes in favor, and that means that roughly 1 billion tokens, which is around 20% of the total supply, will be locked away for 4 years. This is amazing for token holders, as it means that we don't have to worry about any of that flooding into the market anytime soon. And to make things even better, only 1.45% of the tokens were allocated to the team, which is a super small amount, and it's way lower than what these layer 1 and layer 2 projects are doing these days. So clearly I like their tokenomics. But it's not only that, there's also some pretty great tech behind this project. You see, Ton has its own blockchain, which is known for their super high transactions per second and rapid block finality time. It recently set a record for transactions per second, smashing through the 100K mark, all thanks to its unique architecture. It's also super flexible and scalable due to a special feature they have called asynchronicity. Now, I could go into all the details here, but that'd probably bore you to death. So instead, the takeaway here is that they've designed their network to be able to handle mass adoption. And that's key for any project that truly wants to succeed in the long haul. Anyhow, another thing I really like about Ton is that they aren't just satisfied with where they are now. No, they are laser focused on improving for the future as well. For example, their roadmap is quite ambitious and involves a bunch of plans to develop various projects that extend their capabilities and reach. For example, they're focused on improving the network's infrastructure so it can support more and more sophisticated dApps. And because its tech is so flexible, it can also adapt to various business needs, making it a great potential partner for any business that may want to incorporate blockchain tech into their products. Furthermore, all of these initiatives are backed by a whopping $340 million that Ton raised a couple years ago to form their ecosystem funds. And this just shows me that they are committed to improving their future and reaching their goals. So there's some really great strengths here, no doubt about that. But now we gotta look at the other side of the coin and talk about some of its weaknesses as well. So the first thing I don't like is how complex its programming languages are. I won't bore you with all the details here, but Ton supports languages such as Func, Thift, and Tact, and those are not widely used at all by developers. This presents 2 issues in particular. First, there may be compatibility issues with other popular products and ecosystems out there. And second, it could become a challenge for them to attract developers because of this. As of October 2023, there were only 28 full-time developers in the Ton ecosystem. And in comparison, the Ethereum ecosystem has over 1,900. This is a major issue, as we all know that projects live and die by their developers, as those are the ones who actually maintain the network and drive innovation. So no doubt this is a major weakness, and I also think that they're just making things super complicated where they don't really have to. Anyhow, another weakness that really bothers me is their decentralization, or lack thereof. There are only 340 validators in their network, staking 270 million Ton in total. And when we look at other layer 1 networks in comparison, this is a tiny amount. Solana has just about 2,000 validators and Ethereum over 1 million. So Ton lags way behind the competition here and falls short of its aim to become a truly decentralized network. Anyhow, another weakness has to do with the crazy transactions per second figure I mentioned earlier. Because shortly after that was announced to the crypto world, a critical problem with Ton's code was discovered, and its TPS actually fell all the way down to just 1 for 3 whole days. This was caused by some Chinese miners doing inscriptions on the network, which flooded it with millions of transactions and triggered the bug. But the fact that this even happened shows that Ton may not be ready for prime time and has some issues to iron out before it can truly be as scalable as they claim to be. Anyhow, that's how things are with Ton right now. But what if we expand this a bit and look at some of the things that could affect their future? Like, for example, the opportunities that it could seize. Well, before we get to those, I want to share with you a few tips when it comes to crypto trading bots. Personally, I like to use them with a small portion of my portfolio because I think they're a great way to automate various strategies that would be a pain to do manually. But wait, there's so many trading bots out there, so which one should you choose? Well, one of the most famous and OG ones would have to be 3Commas, who's also been our longtime channel partner and sponsor. If you take a quick look at their site, you'll see that they have all sorts of bots from DCA to Grid to Signal bots, and there's some of the most customizable ones that you can find. But if you find that stuff too complicated, well, they also have a bunch of presets that you can easily click to copy, ones that are made by someone more experienced than us. Anyhow, today I want to shout out their Signal bot specifically. That's the latest one they have, and it can integrate with TradingView, so if you have some indicator that you like to use, then you can create a bot that trades for you based on that indicator. But that was their original scope, and now it can accept a signal from any source, not just TradingView. For example, you can make a bot that buys Doge every time Elon tweets about it. So if you've ever thought about doing such a strategy, well, now you can implement it in an automated manner. Also, the Signal bot now supports both spot and futures trades, so it's even more powerful than before. If you want to try it out, then just use my link below for a free trial and up to 50% off your first subscription. Alright, back to Ton's opportunities. And honestly, these can be summed up with one word: Telegram. Telegram is the 4th largest messaging service in the world, boasting over 900 million users who collectively generate 1 trillion views per month. These are some wild numbers if you think about it. And with Ton as Telegram's own token, the sky's the limit when it comes to their potential for adoption. Ton is already used as the fuel that drives many of the dApps running on Telegram. And I think this could explode even further, as there are rumors right now that Telegram is lining up for an IPO. If that were to happen, they would not only receive a massive capital injection, but it would also boost their legitimacy in the eyes of potential users or investors. So this exponential growth in resources and backing would bring an insane amount of interest and development to their platform, and Ton would be in the perfect position to capitalize. Like, there's no doubt that if the money started flowing to Telegram, then a lot of it would be directed towards their ecosystem and dApps, which would all have Ton at their core. Personally, I feel like these dApps could be a bit of a Trojan horse for crypto adoption, because so many people would use them without knowing the underlying tech, right? So they could onboard millions of people to crypto in a way that otherwise wouldn't be possible. This would be crazy for crypto in general, but it would be especially amazing for Ton if it finds itself at the tip of the adoption funnel. But here's the thing, when it comes to ramping up crypto adoption on their platform, Ton and Telegram aren't stopping there. Ton has a native wallet, TonSpace, on Telegram, which is amazing for all the crypto users already on the platform, as it allows them to seamlessly use crypto for various reasons. And then there's the launch of USDT Tether on Ton's network, which makes sending payments and using mini apps insanely convenient for all 900 million people on their platform. It's also great for developers who can integrate those things into their content, games, etc. in a super easy manner on top of the Ton network. So far, the results have been quite impressive, with over 60 million USDT being issued on Ton since April 19th. So the opportunities are clearly there for Ton. But what about the threats that could potentially derail their future? Well, first would have to be its close ties to Telegram. So yes, this relationship will obviously open many doors for Ton, but it also leaves it a bit vulnerable, as it will become fully reliant on Telegram's ability to grow. Like, although Telegram is doing some great things, it's not alone in this space. WeChat, Asia's everything app, also provides messaging, payments, and mini apps, but it has a much larger user base of over 1.3 billion people. Additionally, the process to develop apps on WeChat is more straightforward than what Ton requires. so Ton definitely has to watch over its shoulder. Maybe even from players such as WhatsApp or Line that may decide to launch their own tokens at some point down the line. But anyhow, another major threat has to do with Ton's controversial past. Although this project has been kind of like a cockroach and survived everything that's been thrown at it, the fact remains that it's run into some pretty big legal trouble in the past, and that could come back to haunt them. As part of the settlement with the SEC, Telegram agreed to inform them if they ever planned on launching another crypto coin. So to sidestep this, the rebranded Ton coin was actually launched by a separate entity called Ton Labs, even though its sole function was to be used on Telegram. And this is some shaky legal ground to be standing on. Like, if the SEC continues on its warpath against crypto, then Telegram and Ton could easily find themselves in the crosshairs of Gary Gensler once again. And if I were them, this would be something that would keep me up at night. Anyhow, there you have it, a full SWOT analysis of Toncoin. And now we can answer our original question. Is Ton worth the hype? Well, personally, I think yes it is. Like, sure, there's by no means an easy path forward, and there's a ton of work to be done, but we just can't ignore how great of a position it's in due to the close ties with Telegram. We always talk about how to onboard the next billion users to crypto. Well, this epic partnership between Ton and Telegram just might be the way to do it. Anyhow, if you like this type of video, be sure to watch my other ones on Wormhole, Ondo, and Degen. And don't forget to check out 3 commas using my link below.